I'm Aldo Faisal. I'm a scientist in Imperial College London, and I'm interested in understanding how the brain works and how we can help people whose brain doesn't work so well. So when I was little, I wanted to become a film director and actually make science fiction films about the future. And at some point I realized I was very good with computers and programming and playing with them, and decided, well, maybe I actually can create the future. And that's how I ended up where I am now. So on the one side, we're interested in understanding how the brain works and how it moves our body and learns to do things that no robot on this planet can do, like learning to cycle, something you can learn in a day. On the other side, we're trying to understand how we can help people whose body cannot move so well anymore because they had some form of disease, or whose brain has been damaged by an accident or by disease. And that's what we call Neuro Technology. In our lab, we're working on a number of projects. And today we're going to show you what some of my students are currently working on. William is going to share you a funky pair of glasses that we have developed. And these so-called eye tracking glasses measure where your eyes are looking. And we use that to help people who cannot move anymore because they've lost their hands or they had some paralysis or simply because they have broken arms to control a computer. And we're going to show that he can play a real video game, an ancient classic called pong, but he can also browse the web by simply using his eyes. We have found a way to reverse engineer video game equipment that has the same performance as these very expensive cameras, and basically brought down the cost of such a system to measure eye movements by a factor of 1,000. This makes it now possible to think about all sorts of applications, because now for 10–20 pounds you can have such a system connected to an arbitrary computer, interact with that. So in our lab, we're very cross-disciplinary. We have people who have studied chemistry, biology, physics, mathematics, engineering, and some even have studied finance before. And we get together because ultimately we're all interested by the same question: how does the brain work? And the funny thing is, when you come into a field that you've not studied before, you ask very basic, but also very good questions. Every person has their own viewpoint, and we're trying to bring these different viewpoints together as it allows us to look at a problem from many different ways and sometimes solve a problem that other people don't see because they always think about things in the same manner. Scott is going to show you how he tries to understand how the brain makes us move. And we study that by looking at the simplest movement you can do, reaching for something. And so he's going to show us reaching experiments that he conducts in a virtual reality setup. And the astonishing thing is there are infinitely many ways you can reach for something. But people from all over the world, from Africa to America to Europe, all reach in the same way. So this tells us it's something about how our brain wants us to make to reach that's common to all people. What you're seeing here is Ali wearing a motion capture suit as is used for the latest movie productions where they have actors animating virtual characters. We use this type of technology to study something very basic, to study behavior in everyday life. The only way we can interact with the world is through movement, be it to play, to eat, or to speak to a friend. So the question is, if you are developing a disease, does the way you move change in some subtle, imperceptible way? Think about it. You may recognize some of your friends simply by the way they're walking past you, and you can recognize from their walking pattern who it is. And the question is, can we do the same thing to recognize if somebody's developing a disease even before they would go to the doctor because something hurts? And to this end, we are studying how humans move and capture how humans move in daily normal tasks. So it's a very non-laboratory task because we make simply people do what they would do anyway and simply record how they do it. So it's actually an entertaining experience. We're not cutting ourselves, we're not ingesting substances, we're just basically playing video games.